One of my live stream lectures, walking and chatting lectures. And before I get started, I just want to take a moment to thank all of my subscribers and supporters for supporting my channel. My channel is well over 4 years old. And don't forget to mark the calendar for July 27th, Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do another relational lecture on full copy edit. I'm going to present my full copy edit of my manuscript done by Page Publishing Company well over 2 years ago. So if you want to find out what that's about, mark your calendar and tune in. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture, which is stop using GoFundMe as a life insurance policy. This practice needs to stop. I was in a conversation with an individual about a week ago who is in the funeral home profession. They own a funeral home. And, I've been noticed this myself because of the world of social media is out of control years ago. But I was having a conversation with someone who's in the funeral home business, and it's out of control. People, first of all, GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy. You rather it's a family member or a child or significant other or someone in your household die unexpectedly, and then they put up these GoFundMe for to get the funeral money, the money to bury the person immediately and quick and fast. But at the same time, when you got to bury a family member, these funeral homes, they have to get paid. This is not a free service to lay someone to rest, depending on how you want to do it, full burial, cremation. This is not something that is done free. And it's out of control. And with GoFundMe, it may take time to raise the amount of money it takes to lay someone to rest. So in the meantime, what are you going to do? It's out of control. I've been noticed this myself years ago, and it takes nothing. It takes absolutely nothing to get a life insurance policy on your child or yourself. We were talking that you got folks getting up and going to work every day, working full-time jobs, working multiple jobs, and too cheap to enroll in the company insurance. And through the company, you can get a discount on your life insurance, medical insurance. Many people are so cheap, they opting out to do that. But at the same time, they spending and splurging. The amount of money people spend going out to eat every day, it wouldn't even take nowhere near that to pay a monthly life insurance policy. Life insurance is about the most economical type of insurance you can purchase. You can get it through your job. You can get it individually. I'm telling you, it's out of control. Full-grown people need to get their priorities in order, their responsibilities in order. You got folks, I had a conversation, and we're talking about how people, they budget money to go out to eat. They budget money to go to the mall. They budget money to take weekend trips. They budget money to go to Vegas, tomorrow. So they're spending and splurging all this money. Then God forbid if someone in the family unexpectedly die or expectedly die, then they're looking for strangers and everybody to bury that loved one, to bury that family member. But you've been out there spending and splurging all week long, all month long, all throughout the year, tomorrow. And priorities out of control. And it's real. This is a real topic. I got a daughter 30 going on 31 years old, and as a young mother, because I'm taking it way back old school. As a young mother, back then in my career, I wasn't making a whole lot of money, but I knew enough to know to get my daughter that Gerber life insurance policy, which costs nothing, and it builds a cash value. And even though she got her own career doing well, I still maintain that policy on her. That policy was pennies to attain, literally pennies. pennies. And even for yourself, if you are a full-grown adult and you got children or significant others, you owe it to yourself. It's about responsibility and accountability to have life insurance on yourself so your family can bury you properly in the event of your death. That's responsibility and accountability. That's being an adult versus not having a policy on yourself. Then if something happened to you, your child or your family or your significant other got to scramble together to see how they're gonna lay you to rest. This is real talk. This is real talk. This is real. I mean, I grew up in the hood, dirt poor, but one of the things I always remember, because I watch my parents, I watch my mother. I'm going back old school. My mother knew enough to know to have insurance on her kids and herself, because I remember that insurance man coming to me, knocking on that door every month. And my mother ain't made no whole lot of money, but she knew enough to know the importance of the mindset to make sure my family covered on life insurance. So as a young child, when I saw this and knew the importance of it, so when I had my family and my child, it was ingrained in me. It was ingrained. So if you got a person dirt poor in the projects and still knew how to budget their money to make sure their children and families was covered on a life insurance, I'm going way back. Way back before social media and technology, going old school when the life insurance man knocked on your door to come pay it, you had to pay that premium. That's old school. But watching that taught me something. It taught me the importance of handling that type of responsibility. So if your child or somebody in your household was to die, you can lay them to rest and with money left over to help to maintain your bills. But the key thing, to be able to lay them to rest without begging strangers. This is real talk. GoFundMe should not be your backup plan for a life insurance policy. People need to be ashamed of themselves. Because they spend it on everything else. And just like I was having that conversation with that individual, you know, a life insurance policy is about the cheapest type of insurance in the world that you can purchase. You're going to spend more money on going to fast food restaurants throughout the week and throughout the month than you would be on getting adequate insurance on yourself and your children. Is out of control. This thing is out of control, you know, to the point people ain't just using GoFundMe for life insurance. They're using GoFundMe to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to take vacations. GoFundMe for every doggone thing. This thing is out of control. This thing is out of control. And I'm telling you, it ain't getting no better, because people are going to have to begin to change their mindset. It is not a stranger responsibility to handle the business within your household. Handle your business. This is real talk. And we need to teach out, because your children, they watch you. They watch their parents in terms of their behavior. And if a child is watching their child, a parent, begging and asking GoFundMe with the hands out all the time, what is that teaching that child? What is it going to teach that child when that child turns into a young adult? Because as a role model, we got to prepare our kids as they watch us to be able to stand firm on their own 2 feet, to be able to take care of themselves, to house themselves, to feed themselves, and have the mindset that I'm going to be able to navigate through this life. This is real talk versus a handout all the time for any and every doggone thing. So share this information. Somebody that might need to hear this. Bottom line, GoFundMe should not be used as a life insurance policy for yourself, your children, your significant other. There are so many different companies out there where you can literally get a life insurance policy on yourself or your family for much or nothing, because you're spending the money anyway. You're spending money anyway when you going to the mall, when you're going to the fast food restaurants, when you're spending and splurging, when you're buying that lotto ticket and going to Vegas and taking on weekend trips. So you're spending the money anyway and then some. So that's all I have on this topic. Don't forget to tune in July 27th. I'm going to do that relational lecture at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be ready to get down to business. That's all I have. Simplify, simple fidelis. And I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience.